Okay, people. So, right, oftentimes when you get sent films, right, there's a copy that comes with them with a lot of hyperbole on top, right? Now, this next film, right, it was one of the taglines is a full throttle action thriller, right? Boasting jaw-dropping stunts and feature action. Now, I've got to say, pretty much does deliver on that. It pretty much does deliver, which is kind of refreshing, right? So I'm talking about Death Pursuit, right? Which I mean, it's a bit odd because it seems to have another name floating around, Bulletproof, right? So you may see this film listed as Bulletproof, or you may see it listed as Death Pursuit. I don't know why, right? I mean, both are kind of played out titles, right? We've had films in the past with those titles, you know? So maybe there was some licensing thing why they changed it in some place. Who knows? But yeah, it's actually not bad, right? It's directed by James Clayton. The screenplay is from Cooper Bibaud and Danny Mac. Now, I believe they all came up with the story together. The film is then produced by Clayton. Um, we've got Johnny Broyle, Paul Engstrom, Ryan Ennis, Mark Peaty, Thomas Potter, Peter Stassis, and Zach Steele. It's executive produced by Stan Werteeb, Evan Taylor, Annie Story, Katerina Serkonov. We've got Matthew Robert Kelly, John Hoover, Barry Brooker, Blaine Anderson, and associate produced by Maritama Clarkson. Okay, so cinematography is Ryan Peedy. It's edited by Zach Steele. Paul Ruddy handled the casting. Kristen Luke and Christine Trisk, right, handled makeup and hair and all of that. Chaz production management is Maritima Carlson, and our cast. Well, people. We have got Vinnie Jones as Temple. His girlfriend Mia is played by Lina Lecompte. The thief is played by James Clayton. We've got the Frenchman played by Janvier Katabarwa. Gers is played by Glenn Ennis. Vic is played by Philip Granger. Skinny is played by Danny Mac. Dr. Zimmerman is played by Laurie Trioli. Sketch is played by Cooper Bibaud. Ronnie is played by Michael Mitten. We got Shaw Madsen as Lonnie. Vesna Ennis plays a highway patrol person. You got Bonnie Hayes, a police dispatch officer. Officer Lewis is Matthew Graham. We've got Officer Edwards, played by Blaine Anderson. Ray is played by Thomas Potter. Prish, played by Gaston Morrison. Marco is Olivia Lundari. Denver is played by Sean Kennedy. Lobo is Justin Doran. Raoul is played by Shane Layden. Dennis is Michael Matic. Kelly Richard Fenning plays another highway patrol person. Billy is played by Randy Rafus. Right? Yeah, that's our main group. And the gist of the film is this, people. A thief who only looks out for number one finally pulls off his long-gestating heist, the robbery of psychopathic crime lord Temple. The plan goes off without a hitch until he discovers, I don't know if it went off without a hitch. You know what I mean? But yeah, it goes off without a hitch until he discovers a stowaway in his getaway car. Temple's wife, Mia, along with Temple's elite assassin, the deadly and mysterious man known only as the Frenchman, hot on their heels. The thief is torn between disappearing with the money or taking a risky detour to help Mia escape her husband's decisive grip. But with Temple, the Frenchman, and their deadly convoy of guns in pursuit, they quickly discover the only way to get out alive is to drive out. I don't know what that means, right? Is to drive out an expression? Maybe it's an expression I have no clue of. I don't know, people. I have no fucking clue, but that's what it says. Now, I say this heist doesn't go off without a hitch because it literally opens up with Temple's goons. Now, we don't know who they are, but we have these dudes holding a guy in this junkyard, right? Car, scrappy yardy place, right? Holding him, and then he gets shot in the head, right? And while this is going on, we see the thief, because we never learn the name of homie, right? We see him running through the cars looking to escape. So you can only think the person getting held and shot was one of the thief's peoples. I don't know. Otherwise, who the fuck was that? Right? You know what I mean? So it kind of feels that the heist doesn't go off without a hitch, but he does get away, right? He does get away, which then, leads into the whole Mia situation and all of that jazz, right? Now, as I said, look, there is action, car chases. It does what it says on the tin, right? Which, you know, you don't always get, right? It plays it straight action, right? Goofy action. That is what we get with Death Pursuit, which not bad. You know what I mean? It does work, right? If that's what you are looking for, if you're not trying to find some, psychological drama, right? This isn't The Inside Man, right? This isn't, Michael Mann or, anything like that. But it is fun, you know what I mean? It is, it is pretty fun, which is cool. Now, obviously, with this type of film, there's some goofy ass shit, right? Like my man's wearing a balaclava, so no one can see him. And then there's a bit where he just takes the balaclava off, and you're just like, wait, you haven't escaped yet. Why would you take the balaclava off? Like that makes no sense whatsoever. What the fuck are you doing? You know what I mean? It's just like you're scratching your head, like what? What? Right? There's a funny scene where there's a shootout and someone's gun clearly runs out of bullets. Right? We then follow the person as they go into this other place, boom, boom, and then suddenly they start shooting again. At no point did they reload. Yeah, at no point did they reload. And you're like, wait, hold on a second. You just ran out of bullets and now you got bullets? What? But isn't the thing. The film is engaging enough where you let that shit go, right? You let it go. You're just like, you know what? I don't care. I'm fine. I'm fine with it. You know, right? Like we have this guy, yeah, he's this kind of a loner, right? Doing his thing, pulling off this heist, all of that thing, right? Now, the reason why he helps Maya is not overly clear, right? There is no real logic to it from the person. I mean, we know he's going to, but you know, it's trying to that whole set off of like, no, he's gonna drive up and leave her. Oh wait, but he comes back. You know, which is just like, I mean, what are we doing? Right? Why even bother? Why even bother doing that when we know where this is going? You know what I mean? Or actually create a proper reason for this shit. You know, because there's not one. Right? You've got people being dicks for no real reason, especially when police come around, right? And you're just thinking, okay, in your situation, you are trying to be super cool with the police. So they're not pulling you in or holding you or just running any sort of check. But for some reason, yeah, you got to have this scene where there's a smart mouth with the police, right? And you're just like, what are we doing? What are we doing here? You know what I mean? So there is all this goofy stuff for sure, right? Especially with Temple being like, "May I come back? I just want to be a family." You know, you're just like, nah. You know what I mean? Look, the amount of just like films we've seen with gangsters, like you just think Scarface, and they're just like, "Oh, you want to run away? Fuck you! All right, I'll kill you. I'll give me another hoe." Right? That's what. There's not gonna be all of this goofy shit. But as I said, it doesn't matter because the film, you know what I mean? You're enjoying it, right? It's silly. It's fun. Kind of feel if you liked Vinnie Jones's The Big Ugly, I feel it was called The Big Ugly, right? Then I think you'll dig with this. You know, I mean, it's Vinnie Jones playing this hard man, right? Which is his typical role, which is fine, but you do kind of roll your eyes a little bit. Like, I don't believe, like, he's way too old to be feared in this way. You know what I mean? And then when you put him with this young, super young, hot chick, you're just like, um, I don't see that happening. Right now, look, put him with an older chick. Right, there's plenty of attractive older women. Right, which would be a more believable situation. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying she has to be 60, but older than late 20s, right? Now maybe the lady that plays Mia, Lina Lecompte, maybe she's older than late 20s, maybe early 30s, but even early 30s, you just think no. You kind of see Vinnie Jones, like his character, she should be probably mid 40s, and at mid 40s you could still be pregnant, right? But it's just a bit more believable because it's just like, why is this chick with fucking Vinnie Jones? You know what I mean? It's just it's a little crazy. But again, right, it does play into what you would expect from this film. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's fun. It is fun, people. Um, as I said, look, if you like this sort of film, you know what I mean? Then you'll dig it, right? You will dig it. Now, you could put it in, around like Blonde Purple, though I feel Blonde Purple is a better film, right? More sophisticated, you know what I mean? just sharper writing. But if you like Bomb Purple, I kind of feel you will like this film as well. You know? So yeah, if you're looking for action, heist, silly adventure, you know what I mean? Guns, chases, explosions, all that jazz, right? All that jazz. You know, people with someone else in their sights, right? Dead to right, but for some reason they don't pull the trigger, right? You know what I mean? There's a lot of that, right? If that's what you are looking for, people, then hey, you will not be disappointed with this joint. And right, the big thing as well, right? So it's on what's the word? Digital release, that's the word. It's on digital. I cannot speak. It's on digital release now, and it will be available on DVD next week. So if you want the physical, just wait a week. But if you don't care about that, and you know the digital version is cool, then you can pick it up right now. Right? There's a the links are in the episode information. Right? So there you go, people. Death Pursuit. That's what it says on the tin, and it does it pretty well.